We're just going to start in a comfortable seat. So whatever that is for you, you can sit on a cushion, you can sit on a block, on your knees, maybe even a chair. And when you find your comfortable seat, just rest your hands. And we're going to pause right here just together to take a few deep breaths. You can close your eyes or just shift your eyes down a bit and just start to breathe slowly in and out through your nose. Let these breaths be a transition from wherever you've been to where you are now, this moment, this place. Breath is a beautiful connector for mind and body. And we live so much in our heads. And when we're in our heads, we're ahead of ourselves or we're in the past. And so attention to breath invites us here into our bodies, into this moment. So start to notice that your breath is even, the same amount coming in as going out, the same count or measure of breath. And once you've found that steady, slow breath, allow your breath to help you create a taller spine. On the inhale, lift through the crown of your head. And on the exhale, stay lifted, but just let your muscles soften and brace around that tall spine. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale to just soften and brace. We do a lot of sitting in teacher training, and one of the things we'll learn is how to just sit well, to be rooted on our sitting bones, to be supported by our muscles that hold our spine erect. And you'll find the more that you do this, the easier it gets. Your body starts to find a new home here with a dignified posture. Continue that slow, connected, steady breath, and we'll come around to child's pose. So just bring your knees out wide, allow your big toes to touch, and let your head come either to the floor or onto your hands. If you have a block or a pillow, you could also place that under your forehead. And then once you find yourself in child's pose, deepen your breath. Deepen your breath even more. Now we're able to come into the back of the body. We're able to feel the breath around our waist, our hips. Deep, slow breaths. You're welcome to come back to this place anytime you like, just to check in or rest. And when you're ready, bring yourself up to a tabletop position, all fours. And we'll start movement with cat and cow. So on the inhale, lifting the chin and the tailbone. On the exhale, tucking the tailbone, let the rest of the spine follow it down. Movement with breath. And just noticing the movement of your spine. Noticing if there are any places where there's tightness or restriction, and just slowing down through that place. And then finding a neutral spine. Let's tuck the toes under, and you'll start to feel a stretch underneath your toes, under the arches of your feet. Let's lift up into downward facing dog. And just notice if this is stressful to your wrist, you're welcome to stay back on your knees where we just were. Then downward facing dog, spread your fingers wide, press your hands forward as you pull your heels backwards. Press your hands forward and draw your heels backward. The sitting bones lift toward the sky, and the head just is loose between your arms. Take a deep breath in with a loud and long exhale. And just slowly walk your feet to meet your hands. Put a soft bend in your knees. Let your fingers touch your elbows and hang here in ragdoll. Each exhale, feeling your body release in this fold. And place your hands on your shins, lift halfway. Exhale back to your forward fold. Let's do that a few times. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Movement with breaths. Half lift. Forward fold. Put a bend in your knees and inhale, reach your arms up high. And on the exhale, hands come to heart. Sink your hips down into chair. And let's do that again. Reach high. Exhale, chair. So flowing chair. Inhale as high as you can and then just sink down into the chair. So we're starting to build heat. Let's add in Ujjayi breath. So on your next exhale, make this sound H, like you're fogging up a mirror. And then make that sound with your lips closed together. Both in and out, you're hearing that sound in your ears like waves on the ocean or wind in the trees. Ujjayi breath keeps us warm from the inside out. One more inhale, arms reach overhead, and then settle your hands at your sides. Come into mountain pose, Tadasana. We'll begin our sun salutations here. A mountain pose is the first posture, so press your feet into the earth as firmly as you can and lift up away from your feet. Really root down. And then let your arms float high. Inhale. Exhale, hinging from the hips, swan dive, forward fold. Pressing hands to shins, lifting halfway. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk your feet back. On the inhale, shift forward into plank pose. And this first time through, let's all drop our knees to the mat. And we'll spin the insides of our elbows forward. Shifting our body forward, let's lower halfway down into a kneeling version of chaturanga. And then melt your thighs, hips, and belly to the earth, lifting into cobra. We'll pause right here for a couple of breaths. Feeling your shoulder blades on your back. This is a therapeutic posture to counter all of our round-shouldered device living. Take a deeper breath in and exhale back, tucking the toes, lifting into downward facing dog. Slowly walk your feet to your hands and inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms reach high. Exhale, hands to heart. Those 12 breaths, 12 postures make up Sun Salutation A. So we're going to do that again, moving with breath. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, plank, knees or toes. Exhale, halfway down, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, or if you like, you can push up to your feet, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Pause here to let your breath catch up. Breath connecting mind and body. When you're ready, step or hop your feet to your hands, lift halfway, and exhale, forward fold. Put a nice bend in your knees. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, back to heart center. Let's do that one more time. Sun A, inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take a vinyasa. Inhale, plank pose, knees or toes. Exhale to lower halfway down. Come up into cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Pause here to let your breath catch up with your body. When you're ready, step or hop your feet to your hands. Press hands to shins, lift halfway. Big exhale down, forward fold. Inhale, arms reach high, extended mountain. Exhale, hands to heart. So that was Surya Namaskar A, Sun A. We're going to move into Sun B, and this is where this practice builds heat. It's like bringing water to a slow boil. We've reached the boiling point. So we want to come back into chair pose, and you're hinging backwards from the hips here. Weight is in the heels, core engaged, and I want you to just lift your chest a little bit. So put a little bit of strength in your low back. Hands can stay at heart center or lift overhead. So chair pose. Sinking down, finding heat. Let's take a deep breath in. And then exhale, melt down into forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, down dog. And we'll take vinyasa. There are 3 vinyasa in this series. So come forward, knees or toes, lower halfway. Pull up into cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up high. Exhale, step that foot through. Dropping the back heel, reach up, warrior one. Good. And then exhale, hands to mat. We'll take a vinyasa, knees or toes. Lower halfway down and melt. You can come up to cobra or up dog. And then down dog. Raise your left leg high. Step that foot through and drop your heel. Let's rise up, warrior one. And then exhale, hands to mat. Another vinyasa, knees or toes. This is how we build and retain the heat. So as we come back to down dog, you get 5 full breaths. And you can choose. This is a great place to drop your knees and settle back into child's pose, or you can stay in downward facing dog. Deep, slow breaths. Let your breath catch up with your body. Connecting mind and body here. And then let's come back to downward facing dog if you're in child. Walk your feet to your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Put a deep bend in your knees and sweep your arms into chair. So that completes one sun B, from chair to chair. 2 warriors and 3 vinyasa. So let's put it with breath, movement with breath. This is the most challenging portion of class. After this, we'll slow it down. Inhale, lift tall. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, plank, knees or toes. Exhale, lower down. Breathe in, cobra or up dog. Breathe out, down dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step through and drop your heel. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, take a vinyasa, high to low with breath. Knees or toes. Raise your left leg, take a deep breath in. Step through. Exhale as you drop your heel. Rise, warrior one. And then hands to mat, one more vinyasa. High push up to low with your breath. Pause here, 5 breaths. Down dog or child's, maybe all fours. Catch up. Breath meets body. Mind and body connect. Step or hop your feet to your hands. Lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Put that giant bend in your knees and we'll meet in chair pose, back where we started. Do you feel heat in your body? Yeah. All right, very nice. Hands come to heart. Let your legs straighten, hinge from the hips and come down into a forward fold. Pause there to just see if there's any more length or ease in the back of your legs. We'll keep our right foot where it is. Let's step our left foot back, dropping the knee to the ground for a kneeling lunge. We'll just start to open up the hip flexors of that back leg. You can stay here on your knee, or if you like, you can tuck your toes and lift that back knee and find a little more length in that back leg. Let's reach the arms up for high lunge. And then as our hands come back to heart center, let's shift forward over that front leg and rotate toward the right side. If that doesn't feel good to your body, you're welcome to keep a hand on the ground and twist. Again, that knee can be on the ground still. What feels like a nice twist in your spine? Lots of options. Take a huge breath in right here. And on the exhale, hands come to the mat. We'll step the back foot to meet the front foot. And we're back in forward fold. Keeping our left foot planted, let's step the right foot back and drop the knee to the earth. Finding the right side hip flexors. You can keep the knee down on the earth or lift the back knee. Just feel length and opening across quadriceps and hip flexors. And then whatever you've chosen with the back leg, let's reach the arms high. And we'll find our way into twist on this side. So options are hands at heart center, tilt forward and rotate. You can place your right hand on the earth. You can reach your left arm to the ceiling. See if you can find a nice spine twist. Pay attention to your breath, the connection between mind and body. And we'll take one more deep breath in right here and twist. And on the exhale, hands come to mat, step to downward facing dog. And then your choice, would you like to stay here or flow through Vinyasa? We'll move into our warrior series. On the inhale, raise your right leg and step that foot between your thumbs. The back heel drops. Slowly come up to warrior one. In warrior one, press your feet into the earth and take a look down and see if your feet are exactly on a tightrope. And if they are, like this, I'd like you to just widen that up a little bit. Just put a little more space side to side between your feet, like you're standing on two railroad tracks. And then just lift up and away from those footprints. Nice. Good. As we peel out into warrior two, now the feet come more into line with each other. Reach the fingertips out. That front knee is as bent or straight as you need it to be. Just be strong through your feet. Back foot is pressing into that outer edge. And then let's turn the right palm, reverse the warrior. Stretching the right side of your rib cage. Slow, rhythmic breath. And as you exhale, bring your elbow to your thigh, left arm toward the sky, side angle pose. You can stay here if this feels perfect to your body. If you'd like a little more, you can reach your fingertips toward the floor. Maybe you have a block that you'd like to place your hand on. Reach higher, higher, higher. And on the exhale, let's fold that hand toward the earth. Turn forward and step again to downward facing dog. And then you can choose staying here or flowing through Vinyasa. When you're ready, raise your left leg up high and step that foot between your thumbs. See if you can find those train tracks. So your feet just a little bit wider from side to side. Nice. Beautiful. And we're just lifting up out of the low back, just kind of taking the strain up and out. Good. Let's open the arms into warrior two, lining your feet up, heel to heel or heel to arch, pressing into the outer edge of that back foot. Chest is lifted, spine is tall. And then turning the front palm, let's reverse the warrior. Finding the side, body stretch, taking up some space here. Breathing into the left lung. Staying aware of breath as the connection, mind and body. The easiest way to stay out of the busy, erratic thoughts is to stay attentive to breath. Let's come into side angle, elbow on the thigh, fingers to the sky. If you'd like to go a little farther, you can slide your hand down toward the floor inside your ankle. This is really strong posture, stability, depth. Stay aware of your breath. Take another deep breath right here. And on the exhale, release your hand to the mat. Step again into downward facing dog. Or you can stay or flow through Vinyasa, your choice. We'll meet in downward facing dog. And one more time, kick your right leg up high and slide that foot between your thumbs. We'll bring the back foot in to a narrow warrior one stance. Let's reach out through the crown of our head, and we're going to fold over our front leg into pyramid pose. So from pyramid pose, see if you can lay your belly on your thigh, your ribs, your chest, eventually reaching your forehead to your right shin. Take your right thumb into the crease of your right hip and just press your hip back a little bit. Pressing the ball of your right big toe into the earth, pull that hip away from the toes. And the forehead comes toward the shin. Exhale. Let's lift halfway and we'll open into a twist. So you can keep your hand there on your hip and just pull your shoulder open, or you can extend an arm to the ceiling. This is a great place to put a block underneath that bottom hand. Feeling a lot of sensation near the right hip. Take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, release the hand to the mat. Walk your hands over to the left side. And so you're going to come to the wide edge of your mat, widen your stance, and just put some movement into your body, any kind of movement. Bend and straighten, shift your weight, move your hands, shake things out a little bit. Releasing your body, anything that feels a little bit locked up or tight. We'll turn toward our left foot. So you might be facing the back of your mat. You're welcome to turn around if that feels helpful. The back foot comes in a little closer for pyramid. Back toes are slightly turned out, but hips are squared to the top edge of your mat. Lift and lengthen, and then on the exhale, let your belly, ribs, chest fall to the thigh. You can bring your left thumb to the crease of your left hip and press your hip back. And let forehead seek the shin. Breathe here. Just let your body spill over your leg. And lift your torso to a flat back. And let's twist. So start to open your left shoulder, left arm if you like, and you can place your right hand on an object, a block, a chair, something that lifts you up a little higher. Breathe into what you feel in your left hip. Take one more deep breath right here. Open more. Let your breath go. Release your hand to the mat and come once again into that wide straddle. A little more playtime here. come up to a flat back and start to walk the feet closer together. Press hands to shins, lift halfway. And then with a bend in our knees, let's sweep the arms up high. Find extended mountain. And then just slowly let your arms lower to your sides. Chest is lifted, shoulders on your back. All right, so our standing sequences are complete. We're going to move now into balancing. So we'll take tree pose today. So start by pressing both feet firmly into the earth, as firmly as you can. Really powerful stance here. Make deeper footprints. And then shift 80% of your weight into one foot. Just choose a foot and give that foot all of your weight. And then we'll just start to lift the heel of the opposite foot. You can bring your hands to your hips and start to just rotate from that second leg. Call this juicing the hip. And then let that hip stay open, externally rotated, still pressing down firmly. And you can either just park the heel there at the inside of the ankle, or maybe explore lower leg, or taking a hold of the foot to bring it to the upper leg. Let's just avoid the knee. You're welcome to put your hand on a chair or a wall to support you. But just notice that stability pressing down through that standing leg. You can draw your hands to heart center, or you can create branches, any kind of branches that work for you. Just find your breath here. Breath that invites your mind to pay attention to your body and what's happening down here, below the neck. Let's slowly release. Coming back to solid ground and just shake out that standing leg. Find mountain pose. You might notice that your heart's beating a little faster, or maybe your breath got a little bit erratic. So come back to steady breath as you shift about 80% of your weight into the other leg. And then just feel that tree trunk there, just plugged into the earth, solid, stable, rooted. Pick up the opposite heel and just begin rotating through that hip. Just feel the ease of rotation. And then we'll hold that knee out. You can take a little kickstand or low tree or high tree, your choice. Would you like branches? Would you like to keep your hands at your heart? There's so many different kinds of trees. Every day, maybe this posture is different in your body. And just notice, let breath bring your mind to your body. When you're ready, release. Come back to mountain pose. And then just feel once again what it's like to stand here, to stand with dignity, heart lifted, shoulders back, chin up. A breath that moves through your whole body. Inhale, arms reach. And exhale, fold forward, hinge from the hips. Pressing hands to shins, lift halfway. Exhale, downward facing dog. Your choice, you can take one final vinyasa here if you like, on the way to the earth. And let's all meet with our knees on the mat. hands walk in, and we'll come to a knee stand, prepping for camel Ustrasana pose. And so knees are about hips distance apart. We're going to bring our hands to our hips, and I'd like you to either have fists or flat hands on your glutes and press down. Press down on your glutes and let that be the anchor that you lift up and away from. Shoulders hug onto your back, chest expands. This is a great place to stay. If you'd like to move into a deeper expression of camel, bring both of your hands at the same time to your heels. Try not to twist in this position, but go straight back, keeping your hips forward. And just breathe into whatever you find here. If there's any strain, take a step away from that and find comfort, maybe a little bit of challenge, but not strain. Invite your breath to move through your body. Invite your mind to follow the breath where it goes. We'll bring our hands to the hips if they were on our feet. Relax those feet. And then just start to sit back over your heels. We're going to gently and slowly move back into child's pose. Listening to your body, this is a U-turn for the spine. So move slowly and with awareness. Find a place for your forehead to rest, either on the mat or maybe on a hand or a block. And just notice what's here. Lifting up and lowering down to our bellies. I'm going to do some prone work, some back strengthening work. So let's bring our arms to our sides for locust. And we'll begin locust by lifting our arms, lifting our torso, lifting our head, and then roll your palms down toward the earth, external rotation. Your feet can be pressed to the earth or lifted. Feel the strength in the back of your body. This posture reminds us that our past is our strength. That which is behind us is our strength. And if we can have a strong back, we can have a soft front, heart open to what's in front of us. Take a deep breath. And on the exhale, release. Let one of your cheeks come to the earth and just wiggle out your hips. Exhale fully. Coming up to Sphinx pose. I'm going to offer you the opportunity to practice bow pose today. And for a lot of us, bow is a pretty big posture, so I'm going to offer half bow. But if you like full bow, you'll do that twice. So for half bow, we're going to bring one arm across the front edge of our mat in a 90-degree angle with our elbow. And then, so let's take our right arm in front and bend our left knee. And the left arm comes back to the left ankle for half bow. This is a really great option for a lot of people. You can stay like this, or you can bring your hand out in front of you and just lift a little higher. Strengthen the back, opening in the front. And then just release that. And turn the other cheek to the ground, wiggle out your hips. And let's take half bow on the other side. So the left arm comes across the top of your mat, right knee bends, right arm reaches back. You can stay here low, or you can press up a little higher. Just feel, listen to your body. Follow your breath. Take one more deep breath in here. And as you exhale, release both of your hands down, drop your head, wiggle out your hips. And then we'll just slowly bring ourselves up to a tabletop position, sweeping our legs around. Let's find a seat. Take a moment to clear the flesh, get right on top of your sits bones, and we'll come into Dandasana. So Dandasana is a seated staff pose, sitting bones plugged into the earth, core braced, spine tall. We're just going to wrap our shoulders onto our back and be here. So this is a very underestimated pose. Pull your toes back and press your heels into the mat. This pose has tremendous benefit for core strength, for posture, and for hamstring flexibility. It's a nice passive hamstring lengthener. And sitting tall in Dandasana, start to bend your right knee and just let it come to where it will come. And we'll bring our fingertips to the back of our head. Take a deep breath in and move toward that right knee. And we'll come into a twist. The left hand can be on the knee, or you can use your elbow if you like. Right arm is behind you. Take a deep breath in that lengthens your spine. And a big exhale that deepens your twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deepen. Release any pressure that's there. Come back to center, extend that leg. Find Dandasana again, that tall supported spine using your core, and we'll bend the left knee, fingertips behind the head. Sit as tall as you can and rotate, and then allow the right arm or elbow to come to the knee, left arm behind. Inhale to be tall. Exhale to deepen your twist. Twisting postures allow us to wring out, to eliminate, release anything we're holding on to. Coming back into the center. Let's bend both knees, and we'll find our way into boat pose. So leaning back just a little bit, and when I say lean back, try to avoid this, the rounding back, but rather lift your waistband and lean your torso back, allowing your feet to come up into boat pose. You can keep holding, or you can let go. The knees can be on the floor or bent or more straight. Use your abdominal muscles to hug in, to support your spine. Breathe deeply here. Boat pose. You can use your hands to remind you to sit up taller. One more deep breath in. And on the exhale, the feet come to the earth, soles of the feet together, knees wide. Let's ease ourselves over the legs into butterfly. The head lowers toward the feet. The breath moves into the back. Close your eyes and just feel what's happening now in your body. And as we come out of butterfly pose, we'll make our way down onto the earth for our final sequence of supine postures. So holding onto the back of the knees, roll down onto your back. Draw your knees into your chest. And give yourself a little massage here on the earth. You can keep hugging your knees in, or if you like, take a hold of the bottoms of your feet and come into happy baby. Pulling down on your feet, drawing knees wide against your rib cage or by your armpits. Either way, just continue moving around on your low back, your sacrum. And then slowly draw those knees back together, and we'll place our feet on the earth for bridge pose. In bridge, your fingertips are reaching towards your heels. Shoulders are underneath you, shoulder blades. And let's start by lifting our tailbone, then hips, and then our spine. And we're just coming up onto the backs of our shoulders. Let your chin come up away from your chest just a bit. Press into the big toes. Reach your kneecaps away from you. Allow your hips to rise into that space. You can stay here or interlace your hands, opening up more through the chest. Deepen your breath here. Fill up, empty out. Let your mind follow where the breath is going. As you release to the earth, let your hands separate if they're bound, hips on the earth, knees come in, and we'll take the legs up overhead for waterfall. Waterfall is a very gentle inversion. If you have something you'd like to place under your hips, like a block or like a pillow, you could do that. I like to use my hands, just creating fists underneath my sacrum. And then just rest here. And close your eyes if you like. Notice the reverse of circulation. This is the oldest known yoga pose, Viparita Karani. It's known as the fountain of youth. Take another deep breath in. And when you're ready, release anything that's under your hips. Begin to let your body rest in Shavasana. If there's anything you'd like to place over you or under you to make you more comfortable, feel free to grab that now. I'm learning that people practicing in their homes find it a little harder to rest in Shavasana. And so I will just give you a breath cue every minute for 3 minutes. Give you a breath cue every minute for 3 minutes. So just beginning here, you can close your eyes and just notice where breath is coming in and out of your nose. Bring all of your attention to that single place where breath enters and exits your body. Imagine lying on a beach, and as you inhale, imagine breath coming up through the soles of your feet, much like a wave, making its way all the way up to the crown of your head. And as you exhale, allow that wave to lower back down, head down, exiting through the soles of your feet. And just gently bring one hand to your belly, another hand to your heart, and feel breath now happening in those two places. Filling up and emptying out. Take one more moment to notice this deep, slow breathing, the connection of your mind and your body. Now, as you start moving and coming out of this place, see if you can do that mindfully. Your mind and your breath and your body all working together. You can start by wiggling your fingers and stretching your arms overhead. You can wiggle your toes and circle your ankles. Maybe a yawn or a sigh. Take your time stretching and rolling onto one side. And when you feel ready to complete this practice, bring yourself back to a seat. Let your hands come together in front of your heart, this gesture of gratitude. And let's just take a moment to just feel gratitude for this body that we are sitting here in now. This body that did whatever it did in this practice, its strengths, its limitations, all part of the wonder of who you are. Gratitude. And then just take another moment to feel gratitude for this opportunity that we have, this luxury that we have to set aside time to learn, to grow, to make new friends and create new social relationships, and the difference that this will make in the world. Bowing over our hands. Namaste.